physically grueling, it's mentally taxing, let alone what Caitlin's had to deal with. I think it was great for her to get a break. I think it was great for her body, her mind, her soul probably. And then it was great for her to get in the weight room.
I want to win for them. Like, seeing how selfless they are and, them choosing to come here and choosing to be a part of the Fever, they didn't have to do that. So I certainly want to win for them, and they deserve it.
Defense was trash last year. Coach Stephanie White isn't mincing words at Fever training camp, and she's making sure everyone knows it. Day 3 of camp just showed us exactly how serious she is about fixing their defensive problems.
Us as a staff to be able to utilize her natural God-given talent, her ability to just score the basketball, and trying to put her in positions to do that in a lot easier way.
I feel more settled. I feel like I have a different perspective. I feel very comfortable in who I am as a coach.
You think Caitlin Clark joining the team was the biggest news? Wait till you see how White is completely transforming this team's identity. While Clark's shooting looks sensational in practice, Coach White is focused on something that might actually matter more for championship hopes. The real drama is just beginning. Like the video and subscribe to the channel to support us. Day 3 of training camp, and Coach White is not playing around. She's literally stopping practice multiple times to fix defensive errors. This isn't just regular coaching. She's on the court, hands-on, showing players exactly where they need to be. You can see in the footage how focused she is on every little detail.
How do we put one another in positions to be successful? What actions benefit your teammates the best? And then learning how to play, making mistakes and self-correcting when we are making those mistakes.
Coming here is far bigger than herself, but that's always what you kind of want from your leader, somebody that's going to be selfless. But at the same time, we want to win for her too. She deserves it. So going to try to get her another ring.
When someone's out of position, practice halts immediately. No exceptions. What's really interesting is how White is teaching them to handle defensive pressure. She's telling the team they need to find calm in the chaos during defensive sequences. Think about that. She wants them reacting quickly with their bodies but staying cool in their minds. It's like she's building defensive ninjas who can process everything happening around them without panicking. But here's where it gets even tougher for the players. White isn't just drilling them on set plays, she's throwing them into these chaotic defensive situations and making them figure it out on their own. No timeouts, no breaks. She's basically saying, solve these problems while the action is happening. That's brutal but brilliant because it's exactly what happens in real games. You don't get to pause the action when things get confusing. The intensity level at this camp is through the roof from day 1. Most coaches ease their teams in gradually, but not White. She's going full throttle immediately, making it clear this isn't last season's team anymore. The players can feel it. This isn't optional intensity.
Expects us to compete for a championship in May. Well, that's not realistic. We've got to make sure that we're taking our daily steps, and we're getting better, and we're stacking days, and we put the best team and the best combinations on the floor that we can.
They don't know what they don't know. They haven't really been through it, and getting experience on the floor is one thing, but helping them navigate all of the nuance that comes with being, who they are.
This is the new normal. You know what's really putting pressure on everyone? The growing realization that your offensive talent doesn't guarantee you minutes anymore. White's system is defense first, and players are starting to understand that their playing time directly connects to their defensive effort. No matter how many buckets you can score, if you can't defend, you might be watching from the bench. Every practice session is becoming more competitive as players fight to prove their defensive worth. White's creating an environment where defense isn't just something you do between offensive possessions. It's the foundation of the team's entire identity. And she's personally making sure everyone buys in. Defense might be the foundation Coach White is building, but what's happening on the offensive end has everyone whispering. Caitlin Clark isn't just meeting expectations in training camp. She's absolutely shattering them. Sources who've watched practice are calling her shooting sensational, possibly the best they've ever seen from her.
All the little nuance that comes along with trying to get into our action or trying to be in a defensive coverage. So it's really important, and these guys have lived it, and so they're going to be great resources.
While the defensive identity takes shape, Clark's showing off the offensive firepower that made her a household name before she even arrived. She's draining shots from everywhere on the court, making passes that leave teammates stunned, and playing with a confidence that's making everyone take notice. But here's where things get complicated. As Clark rises, there's serious drama brewing with Lexi Hall. Remember when people laughed off trade rumors about Hall? Well, nobody's laughing now. Multiple sources are suggesting she could be traded or benched before the season even begins. One insider revealed that everybody wanted to annihilate him when he first mentioned the trade possibility. But now those same people are having the exact same conversations. This creates a fascinating dynamic in the locker room. You've got Clark ascending to star status while a teammate's future hangs in limbo.
I want to win for them. Like, seeing how selfless they are and, them choosing to come here and choosing to be a part of the Fever, they didn't have to do that. So I certainly want to win for them, and they deserve it.
Playing, with probably the most talented team she's ever been a part of. And so I'm just really thankful that she's still in a Fever jersey.
That's the kind of situation that can fracture team chemistry if not handled perfectly. The competition for roster spots has turned fierce. Every player knows Coach White's defensive mandate means even the most gifted scorers could find themselves riding the bench if they can't keep up on the other end. Clark might be dazzling with her shooting, but she's still adjusting to White's defensive system, learning to set screens properly, communicate effectively, and maintain proper coverage. So what started as whispers about Hall has evolved into full-blown speculation. First trade rumors, now benching theories. And all while the team tries to maintain focus during these grueling practice sessions. White faces her most challenging balancing act. How do you nurture Clark's offensive brilliance while ensuring she develops into the complete player the team needs?
The expectation is the same, and it's clear. We want success for this franchise. We want success for one another. We lean on one another.
Physically grueling, it's mentally taxing, let alone what Caitlin's had to deal with. I think it was great for her to get a break. I think it was great for her body, her mind, her soul probably. And then it was great for her to get in the weight room.
White hasn't wavered on her stance. No player, not even Clark, is exempt from defensive responsibilities. The coach's message is crystal clear. Everyone must contribute to the big-time adjustments needed defensively for championship contention. So let's wrap this up. What we're seeing from Coach White is basically her roadmap for the entire season. She's creating this culture where resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's how they operate every single day. She wants players who can find the calm in the chaos and make winning plays even when things go wrong. The big question is, will this actually work when real games start? Can these players adapt to her system and actually play through mistakes without falling apart? This isn't last year's Fever team, not even close. White is building something completely different, and she doesn't care who gets uncomfortable in the process.